Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you, Tom?
Or do we just talk? I don't know.
Yep, we just talk. It was going well. I've just realised I've left my jelly beans in the other room, so I've fucked it. Can we restart? Or are we just going to go with this?
We have to go with it.
Oh, we'll just go with it.
Go with it. Go get them. We'll time you.
I'll deal without my jelly beans. Fine. No, this is it. I'm going to cause a shitstorm. I am not going to go live until I get my jelly beans. I'm on strike until I get my jelly beans.
Ben, welcome to the Chat Shit Get Fit podcast, where Tom causes havoc on a weekly basis.
He's seen nothing yet. Oh, he's off.
He's gone. He's away.
He's gone.
I'm hoping he comes back with some jelly beans.
I'll find his jelly beans. Let's stay in that kitchen. Surprised to find anything.
He normally has a cardboard box like behind him to like sort of block the view off, but I think he's just sacked off because it kept falling down.
A bit of a Team Richie.
I think so. Yeah, here we go. Oh, there he is.
Oh, here he is. He's back.
And no one even noticed.
And no one heard me slagging off your kitchen.
Yeah, that as well. It is a bit of a state, innit? And you see me
Where's your cardboard barrier?
There.
Where's the cardboard barrier, Tom?
Listen, socio-economic issues, mate, you know. That washing
Mate,
up's been there since, when the podcast began.
Ben, before we get into... We're obviously going to go into your story, which I'm sure is going to be very exciting, but what we need to start with is what people really tune into this particular series about, and the best ways for people to really get to know you is for us to rank your top 3 gym pet peeves. Now, before we get into this, we have got a ranking system. It has recently changed. If you're a long-term listener, you'll know what it used to be. It was extremely controversial. I'm not going to go any further with that, but we have got a new one.
Don't tell me you've taken the C word out of it.
Oh, no,
that's still in there.
That's the PG version. That's fine.
That's the new one. That's the PG
good.
one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
the RPC scale, Tom, talk us through it, mate. The RPC scale.
So we have the RPC scale, which I think we're just sticking to the RPC scale, aren't we now, Bill? Because that seems to be everyone's favourite.
Yeah, no one seems to like the RPF. I think it's just
I know,
too
everyone
violent.
likes to go full send, but we've now got the RPC scale, which is the rate of perceived cuntery. Now, of course, what everyone finds cuntish is subjective, so we scale it on 1 to 10. So I might find something it's a little bit cuntish, so I might give that a 4 on the RPC scale. But if I go, well, that is really cuntish, then it might be an 8. If I'm like, wow, that is like mega cunt, then I'll be like, well, that is a 10 on the RPC scale. We nearly broke it last week.
Well, we went over it last week, didn't we? Yeah, we had to bury up. Sorry, not bury. We had to dig up the old scale, unfortunately, because of Dean's.
I tried to go through a few episodes to see if anything I'm going to say has come up before, but I lost interest.
Fair enough. We do like honesty.
Guys, it's been a pleasure, guys. We'll see you next week. Unfortunately, we have to cancel. We're going to cancel the show now. Apparently, we're boring.
No, to be fair, it was more that I was hearing things that it was just annoying me, and I was like, I can't listen to this.
Pure anger.
I can't even think about it.
Oh dear. Right, anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into these pet peeves. Give us number 1, Ben. Hit us. Let's go.
Blokes that think Nike Pros are not for underneath garments and wear them openly without anything covering them.
Do you want to just explain to our listeners what these garments are, what they're sort of designed?
I can get mine out. I'm wearing a pair. If you, they're essentially your gym underwear, which, unlike a normal cotton underwear, provides you with a bit more movement, a little less restriction, and don't absorb sweat as much. So you've got a bit more, breathability. They're quite clingy, and you shouldn't fucking be wearing them without shorts over the top. let's be quite honest.
Yeah, I've seen them. I mean, what's your opinion on people? I've seen someone wear these, but with the shortest shorts possible. Is there any point in that? Would you reckon? Do you reckon that's just as bad?
There's little or no point in that, but at least he's thought about other people's feelings a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you. Are we going after Nike here? Is this an attack on Nike in particular?
It's not an attack on Nike. It's an attack on blokes who think it's acceptable.
Acceptable, yeah.
I've got no problem with Nike. Nike, if you're listening, love your work.
I do think they listen.
Send me whatever you like. But if you wear Nike Pros or any other similar, even the leggings as well, I find it's a push.
Yeah.
The Virus do a good pair of leggings that you can lift in, and I'm on the fence about those. But they're a bit more sturdy. You can see they're a bit thicker than your average legging. I just think Nike Pros are far too flimsy and too revealing, and no one needs to see that. And why is it always the blokes with the worst package and the awful glutes and fucking They're built like a melted wheelie bin.
The saggiest
Melted
of
wheelie
balls.
bin. I like that.
So yeah, that's number one. It came straight to my mind. I was like, brilliant.
I'm trying to think where to rank this because we're always down. You know, we like to be nice and fluffy sometimes, but what people feel comfortable in. If they feel comfortable in that in the gym environment, that's great. But then, are they making
What if
others
it makes
feel
me feel
uncomfortable?
uncomfortable?
That's what I was going to get onto, Ben. I think if they're making up, I'd probably say that's probably going to offend more people than them feeling. So we've got to look at the numbers here. They might feel comfortable, which is one person, but then there's probably about 10 people which are feeling incredibly uncomfortable because they've got their junk out.
I'm sorry, I have to say it. The guys that I normally see doing it don't look like they're doing it because they're doing it because it's the most comfortable thing for them to work out in. I think it's a bit of a, I'm here, lads.
Yeah,
have a look. Yeah, I'm here to have some fun on the barbells and lunge in your face.
Yeah, I'll get you. Tom, what are you thinking, mate? Where's this going to go on the old scale?
Well, I'm going to be a bit neutral here. I'm going to say a 5 on the RPC
5?
scale because
Ooh,
it's very subjective. It depends on the context as well. So it depends on...
Talk me through a situation where it's okay.
I think it's okay if they're behind closed doors and I can't see it, but I'm just aware that they're wearing it. However, if I am...
So when Bill texts you and he's about to do a home workout and he's like,
but he just
Got
makes...
the Nike Pros on.
I'm about to crack on, Nike Pros only.
So he's made me aware that he's wearing them, but I just can't see them. So I've got that image in my head, so I'm like, right, well, that's a bit of shit for you to do that, Bill. But, you know, at least I can't actually see it. Although sometimes, you know, what you can't see is worse because your imagination starts running wild. And then all I can think about is Bill's danglers just hanging out and all vinegary. But, I mean, it does depend on the exercise you're doing as well. So, you know, if someone's doing, like, the most flexible-looking good morning ever, or...
Yeah, that's yeah.
Or if they're kipping and you're relatively close to them, or if you're close to someone that's kipping, someone's gone wrong down the line, and if it's all flailing about like two, you know, pheasants fighting in a pillowcase, then yeah. So you see what I mean here. Depends on the exercise that's going on here, and social distancing.
If you're sat on your watt bike at home and you're wearing cycling-esque shorts, happy days, do what you like.
As long as I'm not aware of what they're doing. Like, just don't send me a text out of the blue saying, on the bike, wearing my shorts, you know. Or worse, don't send me a picture. I'm neutral on this.
So you're going for... Okay, well, I'm just going to go with the context we were given, and that was obviously in the gym environment. I'm going to probably go with... I'm going to say a 7, I think, for this one. I think seven's pretty strong because, as I said,
what's this person doing, Bill? What are you thinking in your head?
What are they actually doing?
Yeah,
they're only doing a bit of bench.
Yes, that's exactly what they would be doing.
Yeah, they would be doing. Yeah, they're not doing anything.
That's what they would be doing. That's
Exactly.
the person.
Yeah, that's the person.
Not on the abductor machine, seated abduction machine.
No, bench.
Just letting it
bicep
pour
curls,
out.
a few tricep extensions.
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think a lot of people would be seen dead on a ductor machine.
It depends if they're wearing those shorts and it's the kind of person you'd find on it.
Exactly.
If they've got it, they want to flaunt it. I don't care if the exercise is specific.
Maintaining eye contact at all times.
I hope there's someone listening who does this exact thing. I'd make my day.
Super out of a hip thrust
Oh, yeah.
whilst they're sat down on it.
Where would you put this, Ben? Where would you put this on the old RPC scale?
Fucking 12.
Right, well, if you're going to go 12, we're going to have to... Tom, I mean, we have to go there. I don't...
What are they doing?
Right, 12 is off the scale, and if we go off the scale, the rule is we have to bring back Jimmy.
So
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Ben's like, Jimmy, what?
Well,
I'm warning you now, Ben. Do you want to stick with 12?
The old scale was like the most extreme thing was spending a night in Jimmy Savile's bed. But now, do you know what? Jimmy Savile was the exact kind of person that wore those type
Who
of
would
shorts.
do it?
He would.
He would. Actually, yeah.
Bill,
nail on the head.
during post-production, we'll Google it. We'll bring up an image for everyone to look at. And, I'm pretty sure we could find Jimmy wearing some of those shorts. And if not, we will Photoshop some.
Do you know what I've noticed, Tom? Since we've started this series, we decided to revamp the ranking scale. I think we've mentioned the old scale every single
ever
episode.
spoken about Jimmy as much as what we have since banning him.
I know, yeah.
The heart desires what it misses.
It does.
I watched an interesting... This is completely off topic. I watched an interesting thing on YouTube the other day. It was like comparing American soccer chants to UK football chants.
Yeah.
And the Americans don't do them very well. They're very sort of like to the point, like fight and win.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I know exactly what clip you're on about.
And then, but the clip that follows it of all the English clubs is literally every chant is calling someone Jimmy Savile.
Yeah,
it's like the go-to insult, isn't it?
Or saying that they were touched by him, or fathered by him, or just anything. I watched these Americans reacting to it, and these guys obviously didn't know who he was, and they were like, "This poor bloke."
Yeah.
It's like the lowest hanging fruit, isn't it? Just go for Jimmy straight away. Speaking of which, I told ya.
Oh, fuck off. Here we go.
I told ya.
Is he on a dip station there?
Yeah, and he's actually got a small child underneath him.
Oh, God.
You can't say that.
Oh. And this is the point where the music would kick in. I'd play the little... I'd edit into music to move as swiftly on.
Yeah.
Right. Ben, talk to me. Number 2.
Right, number 2. This used to happen to me a lot in Easy Gym, because I was a member for a while. Blokes that used to be like, "Oh, can I jump in with you?" And then, I'm not saying I'm strong, but would proceed to, as you start working into your actual working set, start telling you about why they can no longer lift the weight you're currently lifting. And it is just like, all right, mate, I don't mind if you're not as strong, or if you're working a different rep range, or, you're going for sets of 20, whatever. I honestly don't care about the fact that you once twisted your shoulder badly when you're about 25, and ever since then your bench hasn't been right. Don't, just get on with it. And stop telling me about how I could be better.
Oh, so what's the pet peeve here then? Is it the people jumping in on your set, or is it the people who sort of reminisce?
The justification for why they can't do it anymore.
We spoke about this before, haven't we, Tom, on the actual pet peeves episode we did ages ago. Do you remember that? We spoke about...
about the back in my day.
Yeah, back in my
but
day.
This one is more like making excuses, isn't it? And it's like, do you know what? The vast majority of us we don't care. We don't care,
I used to go at 9 p.m. after work when I had a real job. And I was like, I don't want to hear your chat. I'm okay with you joining in with me, but if you're going to get your head down and do something, stop telling me about why you can't.
You don't go to the gym as if it was a pub for a chat with someone. You go there to do your lifts, do your session, and get out of there. Especially when it's 9 o'clock and you've just done work. You're fucking hanging out, aren't you? The last thing you want to do is...
It's unrealistic as well. Used to bench 200 for 5 when I was younger.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you didn't. You can't even count to 200, mate. That's number 2.
And the excuse is never exciting either. It's never like, I reversed over my own arm the other day.
No, exactly. I hurt my ligament.
Yeah. Spinal.
Yes.
Just spinal. I broke my back. The old Mike Tyson. Go on, Bill.
I'm trying to think of what we said when it was the back in my day crew. I think we had a bit of sympathy for them, didn't we? Because we were like, they were just old people trying to impress the younger guys, trying to make them feel included. But I feel like if we're going down the whole excuse route where they're just making excuse after excuse, like I did this one day, I did this, I did that, then it's just like, as you said, we don't really care. It depends on your mood as well, doesn't it? If I'm in your mood where at 9 p.m. I'm tired, I just want to get the session done, we're probably looking at 10, aren't we? Because I'm going to be absolutely, raging. But if it's just like a normal session midday, I could probably get away with 7. I'd be like, yeah, mate, cheers, yeah, nice one, yeah, thanks for that. Like the old, as we said in another episode, we just do the, oh yeah, you don't listen to what they say, you just go, oh yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And like you're on your 10th, that's crazy in the space of 3 minutes. I don't have any more. That's crazy. Any left in me.
You just repeat it back to them as well. Oh, 200, yeah.
I wish I could do that.
It was your ligaments. Right. Football injury. You could have gone pro. Yeah.
Same actually. What academy?
Yeah, we could be all day with these, couldn't we? I'd say depending on the mood, but we're looking at between a 7 and a 10, depending on how I feel.
Do you know what? I would say 7, but because this has put a particular person in my head, I'm going to go with an 8. And it was when I first kind of got into personal training, and it was this old guy, and he would always whatever it was that I was doing when I was off shift and I was training, he'd come up to me and it'd be like, he wouldn't want to work in with me, but this is kind of going a bit off topic, I suppose, in a way, but he was one of those people where he was like, oh, I used to be able to do that, or I could do that, but, and then he would start kind of coming up with excuses. So it wasn't that he was working in between my sets, because I'll be honest with you, I know it's going to sound really shitty, but I do everything in my power to make people think twice for working with me. Not intimidate anything, because I can't intimidate anyone.
Just making noises.
That, or wearing really, really short Savile shorts.
With Nike Pros, nothing over the top.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'll just say, like, they'll be like, oh, how many you got left? And I'll go, I'm doing German volume training. I've got like 9 sets left, mate. You know, and I've only got a minute rest in between each one. You know, and I fucking hate German volume training. I'll never do it anyway. But that's the excuse I'd give. Something random that'll make them think, you know what, fuck this isn't worth my time. Yeah. But yeah, in my head, I've just got this old guy in my head that would always go like, back in the day, my leg press was this, and I'll be like, I don't give a fuck about leg press. This is an accessory exercise. No one cares about your fucking leg press record. You know.
I don't think I've ever cared about what anyone's ever been able to leg press.
No. Me neither.
You never see YouTube compilations, do you, of leg press? It's never.
No, you don't.
You do. You see it when it goes wrong in their knee. But...
Oh, that's true. They turn into a transformer. And they just fold up.
Eddie Hall passed out, didn't he, on the leg press?
Eddie Hall passed out the leg press?
Yeah, passed out doing was it £1,000 or something? Stupid, something daft like that.
Have all the fucking things to pass out on.
Yeah, he creeped.
As a strong man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Ben, what are you saying? Where are you thinking on the old scale for this one?
To be fair, I'm going to give it an 8, because sometimes you do hear some funny stories and you just go and tell everyone.
Yeah, solid 8.
It's the awkward one. The awkward one, Ben, is when they go, yeah, I used to be able to squat loads, but now I had a bit of an accident, and you sort of just fob them off, and then you see them walk off, and they've got a stump, and you're like, oh, okay. You're like, oh shit, okay, sorry. Like you're just like, yeah, mate, nice one, cheers for that.
Yeah, actually, okay, yeah, good point there, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
No excuses, just work harder.
Yeah,
with your one leg. Squatting is just a state of mind.
Oh dear, I'm loving these pet peeves. This is great.
That actually did happen to me years back.
Oh, of course,
once again, when I first started, I was talking to a guy and he was sat on either. It was like a seated machine. I don't know if it was like a seated overhead press or chest press. It was one of those, and I was talking to him for ages, and then I was. We were just talking, and I was like, "Oh, so like, do you ever do like any like barbell movements or any of that? Do you do any squats?" And he just went, "No, mate, I can't squat." And I went, that's what everyone says." And as I walked around, like these big like matrix machines, they've got that big boulder bit. And as I walked past, I saw the guy had his fucking motorised wheelchair just on the other side of it, and I was just like, "Fuck!" I was so fucking embarrassed, and I felt awful. I was so embarrassed, I just walked home, finished my shift.
Anyway, number 3, Ben, let's go. Final pet peeve.
Well, so is this just general gym pet peeves, or is this as a PT as well?
Anything, the industry, PT, anything you want.
Since I've become a PT, as soon as you tell someone you're a PT, and they do this, you need to bear with me on this one. I'm a PT. Yeah, I need to get rid of some myself. Actually, need to start. Oh yeah, you're right. I need to start hitting it. And it's like, no, I didn't know. You asked what I do. I've told you. Stop grabbing your belly and whatever and telling me that you need to gym again just because I've told you that's what I do for a living. If you haven't done it till now, you're probably not going to get with it. And just finding out that I'm one doesn't make any difference to anyone.
Yeah, I get that often.
A hell of a honestly. So I'm trying to set up a gym at the moment, and everyone who comes in like to see us, as soon as you go, oh yeah, we're setting up a gym. Yeah, I need to start working out myself actually. And it's like, all right, cool, we'll set up some sessions for you. Yeah, but life. Okay.
Yeah, no context, just life. Yeah, just life.
Oh, there's this COVID thing. Yeah,
this COVID thing. You know what it's like, don't you? Well, no, I don't. But
excuses, and it's like, I don't. Honestly, you don't care. If you want me to train you, I'll happily just say that. Oh, yeah, I need to get on with it, and I'll do something with you, and we can work through it. But don't just tell me for the sake of bringing me the very little fitness you have in as a conversation starter, because I've talked to you about a tree.
Yeah.
That you're not going to put into this problem you've just come up with.
Yeah, I like it.
The worst one is when you mention it and just out of nowhere, it's, what do you recommend I can do to get the fat off my arms? And then you're just like, what would be the quickest way to just, end my life right now? Just to avoid this conversation.
Very funny thing happened to me today.
Here we go.
The boys on my uni rugby group were giving me a bit of stick because a few of them are PTs and stuff. And someone texted me saying, how do I spot reduce but fat on my belly? And just so happens, as I was walking through the gym, I'm trying to find it, I bumped into James Smith, PT.
No.
Fuck.
No, you're joking.
And so I sent that as a reply.
Dear,
I'm not saying anything, Bill.
Right, our legal team has told us not to say anything at this point.
Are you boys not fans?
Right, we're gonna have to make part 2 now, aren't we? 'Cause we're gonna be here for some. We're gonna be here for some time. We're gonna be here for some time.
Not keen.
We may have a few legal issues.
Really?
Well, not me particularly. Mainly, I'm looking at Tom. Really, it's done great for the podcast in terms of being name dropped. But
I ain't done nothing, mate. Let's move on.
let's move on. Let's move on.
Those people who just just as soon as they hear you're a PT, they just suddenly care.
Yeah, they suddenly care. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
And they want to tell you about their own story, but they don't actually. As soon as you tell them, "Cool, let's do something about it," they're like, "Yeah." So they've literally just brought it up for the sake of having something relatable.
Time wasters, basically.
Yeah, it's not like no, but it's equally. It's like if someone goes to you, "I'm a bank manager," you don't turn around and go, "Oh, I've got a savings account myself, actually."
I've got money. Actually, I've got money myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it? I work in a pub. Love Guinness.
It's like the first thing they can relate to, isn't it? It's like bumping into a mortician. I know someone that's dead.
Or like I went to a funeral recently.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Just buried me nan last week. How many people have you buried? Oh, you're a mortician. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where to rank this one because it's just like it's almost you feel a bit because these people are probably so boring that that's all they can say. I mean, I don't know how to attack this one. Tom, what do you think?
Oh, do you know what? This is a bit of a hard one. I'm only going to say I'm going to stay neutral and say 5 because I understand sometimes people are being polite and it's just their way of kind of like almost trying to relate to you, except it's just something they're trying to find relatable to your job. But at the same time, it's when it leads on to certain things like, oh, can you tell me how to lose a bit of my arm fat or something like that? Or they're like a chronic smoker, they're smashing booze and then they're saying things like, yeah, the doctor told me I've got a bit of like a heart and blood pressure issue. What do you recommend for that? And you're like, well, you probably want to stop the heavy smoking, heavy drinking, but it depends on what the questions kind of lead on to. Do you know what I mean? So it's a 5. It depends, but I know that most time people just don't give a fuck about.
They're happy to talk, aren't they? But they don't want to take action.
Yeah,
it's all like there's no point saying shit if you're not going to do anything about it. It's just you're just wasting it.
No, exactly.
Another thing as well is when they do say something like, "Oh, yeah, I need to lose a bit of it myself." Like, how am I supposed to respond to that? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I go, "Yeah, you fucking do," or
yeah.
You're like, "Oh no, you're all right, mate," and then you're kind of like, "Well, actually, he's not." And if I'm telling him he is, he's now going to think I'm lying, or like it just puts you in that awkward position.
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary and unreasonable.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for a 7 again. I'm going to keep it a nice flat all round 7s for all of them. I think they're all in the.
Actually, I want to change my score ever so slightly to a 6. Just tip it that way. Just because, how the fuck am I supposed to respond to a question like that without offending them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awkward. Put me in a shit position there, June, asking me that, bitch. So we're just making up random people.
What do you think, Ben? Are you going to rank this one high? Or?
I'm going to keep it at 9 purely because it's just going to keep happening, and it's never not going to happen, and we're not going to.
I feel like it happens very often to you, by the sounds of it. This is a
so that it's just that persistent niggle.
Yeah.
That just happens. If it was once in a blue moon, you'd be like, oh well, people say silly things, but it's literally like almost a daily occurrence when you tell people, and it's just like.
I mean, a 9 is pretty high. I mean, that is like 1 or 2.
People don't want to listen to you. It's like, how this, and then you tell them, and then they're like 2 minutes later, they're like, oh yeah, but I heard this is good, and it's like, well, if you heard that's good, go and do it. Why are you asking me?
Why is it not working?
Yeah, again, like you've asked me for my advice. Again, I'll use the bank example. How should I invest my money? Oh, property's good, and then you turn around and go, well, I've heard oil actually, so I'm going to do that. It's like, well, why would you ask?
Yeah.
So anyway, there we go. There's my 3. Happy birthday.